bridges over it.
Morning Facebook, how are we? Happy Saturday to all. So I'm at Milton Keynes train station. I am waiting for a train into London. And the reason for that trip into London is because, I'm sorry about the noise by the way, because I'm sure you can probably hear trains, but the reason for the trip into London is I've been invited by Matthew Moody and his team to join the HMO and Rent to Rent Expo today. It's at the Plaza Hotel in Westminster. The tickets are free, so if you're around, calm down. If you've not been to it before or you've not booked your ticket yet, then come down, because I think it's going to be an amazing day. There's some awesome speakers, and they've invited me to be on a panel this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Now the panel, interestingly, it's really made me think this question. So I got told about it, like what the question was going to be in the last sort of couple of weeks, and it's really made my brain tick as to what I really think about this particular topic. So the question is that's going to be discussed in the panel, and I think the panel. I haven't seen the final list yet, but my understanding is that people like Simon Zucci, Jim Halliburton, Rina Marla, myself are people that are going to be on this panel, and we're all going to be talking about what HMOs will look like in terms of the strategy and the delivery 10 years from now, or over the next 10 years. How has the industry changed up until this point, and what's going to happen in the next 10 years to keep things going, for making sure that it's a sustainable business and to keep things bubbling along. Now, it really made me think, because when I started my business, really I only wanted to get to the end of the first year, and that was my initial goal, was to kind of set houses up so that actually people would hang around and we wouldn't have loads of voids and things like that. And actually what has transpired is we've created a business that is well known for creating comfortable living and high quality accommodation for working people, for different types of people. Sorry, there's windswept, we like that. So yeah, that's what our business is known for locally. And the difficulty though is that HMOs have a bit of a bad reputation, don't they? They when I talk to landlords about turning their house into a HMO, we're very transparent about what we do, but often we get that kind of like, oh, I don't really want that. I've heard about HMOs in the press, and there's really negative press, and it's going to be loads of people in and out. And I've had people who have said things like, oh, it's just people that take drugs and people that are unemployed that stay in HMOs. And actually, the truth is that that's not the case. It just isn't. There's a big market in all different parts of the UK where you've got real high-end, high-earning, high-salaried people that are just living in shared accommodation because that's what they prefer to a certain extent. Yes, we've got this house price, affordability and all those things to consider, but actually some of our tenants prefer to live in a communal living space because it means that they're not living on their own, and they would be otherwise. So it raises the question of, what will HMOs be like in 10 years' time? Now for me, I think the HMOs are going to go down the route of increasing quality. I think it's going to be more about quality than it is about quantity. I think the days of the slum landlord that have got thousands of rooms, who are putting people into houses where I've been in HMOs where there's like mould growing on the ceilings, you've got like water leaking down the walls. It's awful, like really awful. I think people have got an absolute cheek putting people into accommodation like that. It's not on. So I think what's actually going to happen is we're going to end up, the quality is going to actually come to the top. The cream is going to float to the top, if that makes sense. And I think what's going to happen, and I'm really excited to talk about this afternoon and kind of get some discussion going about it, is we're going to be led by tech. I think like anything, I think we're going to be led by technology, because the expectation, even of our tenants now, the expectations of when they move into a house, they want fast Wi-Fi, they want fibre, they want access to USB ports in the walls to charge their phones. They're not happy with just plugging a plug in. They want USB ports in the houses when they move into them. I think what's going to happen is we're going to be moving more towards developers building accommodation and building buildings with tech in mind, which means then actually the quality of the tech that's included into the HMO market to attract those higher end people is going to be a big driving factor of how people select their accommodation. So I just wanted to chuck my thoughts out as I'm on my way, and I had 10 minutes to spare. The train will be here in about 60 seconds, so I'm going to shoot. But I'd just be really interested to know what your thoughts are on what you think the HMO market's going to do in the next 10 years. And I will put your questions and your thoughts and your comments. Gone now. And I'll happily put your thoughts and your comments to the panel this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to it. If you're coming to the event, amazing, I'll see you there. If you're not, then I will feedback afterwards. Have a good day, guys. Enjoy.